Hi, humans. You're listening to an episode of Thorn and Your Side. And I'm your host, C. Thorn. This is the podcast where I talk about information and opinions, both popular and unpopular, related to random topics, both serious and non-serious. And we might as well listen because it needs to be said. And besides, you already pressed the play button. So pay attention, don't wander around, and prepare to be entertained and informed. Why, hello everybody. Today is such a great day, and it feels so good outside. And you all are probably wondering about the craziness that happened among my guests last week. Well, the police said that I can't talk too much about it, but let's just say that Lizzie B showed out. That whale and orca were brutal, but Lizzie B was clearly able to handle herself. After witnessing all that, I honestly have to say I'm falling in love.
I told you I knew where he lived. Now it's time to get our revenge because no one embarrasses the ghetto gangsta Gacha whale unit. Oceanside.
First of all, Mr. Whale, you're not supposed to be here because of the restraining order against you. Second, it's not my fault that you and your homeboy got your butts kicked by Lizzie B all by herself.
Close your mouth, human. I'll admit that I underestimated that woman, but only because I was trying to bust a move. I was busy getting my groove on. She caught me off guard, so I demand a rematch. I don't smell her scent, Orca bro. So I say we wait around until she comes back. Then we'll make her pay.
Lizzie B doesn't live here. Besides, she went on vacation shortly after beating y'all up. And I'm not sure when she'll come back. The TLC fanboy is still in the hospital, and my neighbor came home from the hospital last night. Now, if you two could just leave
I'm not going anywhere. As one of the enforcers, the ghetto gangsta Gacha whale unit, I won't allow anyone to insult Gacha games, no matter how trashy and predatory they are.
It's already bad enough that both of you barged into my house and brought all this water with you, but did y'all forget what happened at the park? You two basically ambushed the rest of us and caused a huge brawl that sent some people to the hospital, including the other two guests. And for what? All in the name of Gacha games? Come on, huh? You know what? That's the problem. You two clearly have an unhealthy obsession with Gacha games, and those games are already unhealthy to begin with. So let me break it down to you. To everyone who likes to play video games and mobile games, which include humans and whales, I don't mean to be a thorn in your side. But Gacha games are dangerous and should either be properly regulated or just go away. I'm serious, people. It's already been said several times in previous episodes, but Gacha games are games in which the players gamble money for content. Whether it's characters, costumes, pets, weapons, relics, artifacts, or whatever, the main method of attaining these things is by gambling money. You can gamble by using in-game currency, such as gems and rubies, or use the money in your actual wallet or bank account. Honestly, I'm truly surprised that these games are allowed in our society because it's literally just gambling. Now, I'll admit that there are some Gacha games out there with fun gameplay, but if these companies think that I'm going to gamble my hard-earned money on a bunch of 2D images or 3D models, then they need to stop smoking the coke.
Watch your mouth, human! Gacha games are by far the best games ever! It feels so good gambling for content, especially when that content is little girls wearing skimpy outfits. I'm constantly drooling over those juicy kneecaps and inner thighs. And my flippers are always twitching with excitement.
Mr. Will, that's nasty. Now, I'm sure our listeners know by now that you have an obsession with gambling and little girls. And the sad part is that players like you are the target demographic for most gacha games. Honestly, there are too many times that I played an online game that started off fun, but the companies kept adding characters, both young and old, with questionable outfits. And it's usually the young girls. As a casual gamer, that's nothing but a load of...
You're a casual gamer? How disgusting. That means you're nothing but a freeloader who just wants to play a game for free. You don't contribute to the revenue, so your opinion means nothing.
Wrong. My opinion as a casual gamer does have value because gacha games are always free to play, which means you can play the game without having to spend any money. As we all should know by now, free to play means the same as pay to win, because spending money on the game will definitely increase the chances of you winning. But since I'm a casual gamer, that means I focus more on having fun. Besides, the purpose of games is to have fun and not trying to satisfy your...
wrong, human. Gacha games are all about satisfaction and winning, which is why we gamble so much money on them. As long as the characters have crunchy elbows, then I'll gladly gamble on everything.
Mr. Orca, that's actually creepy. You shouldn't be playing mobile games for physical satisfaction because it sounds like you're trying
Mind your own business. I hate humans, but the only thing you all are good at are exploiting each other, which is why gacha games and music videos are so awesome.
Oh, is there a reason why you hate humans so much? Something tells me you had a bad experience with some.
Of course, there I was, just minding my own business, when some humans drove a yacht into my territory. I was so busy showing my homies how to do the bankhead bounce with one flipper that I didn't notice the yacht so close to my tail. Then, when it was time for me to drop it like it's hot, the yacht got too close and got badly damaged. You humans blame me and my friends for it, and that's not fair. Besides, it's not my fault that I have so much junk in the trunk.
Well, it's not good for you to hate humans because of something that was technically your fault. Maybe you should have looked around before bouncing.
I don't care. Besides, it's the main reason why I win every single dance competition. And if I didn't know any better, you humans are probably jealous of me being able to drop it real low while keeping my balance. Dirty dancing and gacha games are my specialty, so don't hate, appreciate.
Don't sweat the details, Orca bro. Say Thor's just mad that Pokemon Master X didn't make Matt playable yet. It's a Japanese gambling game, so what did you expect? He has no chance unless the game is about to shut down.
Mr. Will, please stop bringing up that game. Everyone knows that the main, if not only reason why Matt didn't become playable is because he looked too different from the rest of the characters in that event quest. Also, the other 6 people were white-skinned, so it's an obvious case
We're serious. Human, you should do something about it.
Nah, I'm good, Mr. Orca. As much as I would love for him to be playable since it's long overdue, it probably won't ever happen. He and his counterpart Courtney had the most important role in that event quest from summer 2022, and yet he was the only person out of 7 who didn't become playable. And he just happened to be the only colored person out of those 7 people. So the reasoning is pretty obvious.
Of course it's obvious. I'm not human, but even I know racism when I hear it. You shouldn't let the Nintendo get away with this, so hit them where it hurts.
Oh, well, as I said before, I'm a casual gamer, so I really can't hit them where it hurts since I already don't spend money on mobile games.
Not that way, homie. Dox them. DDoS attack. Write threatening letters to the staff members. My friends and I did to the staff a crash impact, and it was very effective. We showed
Hold on. You were responsible for that cyber attack that happened to the Crash Impact employees several weeks ago? Dude, people actually got...
Orca, bro! Don't tell our business to everyone out there!
I don't care, real bro. These companies better realize that the players are in charge and could easily force them out of business if they don't obey.
Mr. Orca, I would never want Dina, Nintendo, or any company to suffer like that, no matter how unfair and stupid the decisions might be. Threatening the staff members is not a good idea, and I definitely don't support doxing or anything that violates a person's privacy.
You sure? By doxing the company, it would guarantee Matt being playable in the next update.
So this doxing thing, it's safe, right? It's safe and legal?
Of course. Once I get their personal information, I can use it to blackmail the staff into doing whatever I want, and they won't be able to track us down since human technology is inferior to the technology of the ghetto gangsta Gacha unit.
That actually sounds pretty cool. In that case, I guess I can't stop you from doxing the company to make Matt playable.
Glad to hear it. Now, is that a yes or no?
Well, like I said, I can't stop you from doing it.
My service isn't free, so I need a solid yes or no.
Well, obviously, it's a solid yes. You know what? No, don't do it. It's not that serious, even though it kinda is. Not to get too off topic, but I remember seeing a video earlier this week of a gymnastics award ceremony. It was a bunch of young white girls and one black girl lined up to get their medals. For some weird reason, the woman who handed out medals skipped over the one black girl, even though all the other girls had similar results in the competition. Fortunately, the one black girl eventually got a medal after the ceremony, but it's crazy how that happened. When I saw that, I instantly thought of the Matt controversy in Pokemon Masters EX. Just like how the black girl was the only one to not get a medal despite doing the same thing as all the other white girls, Matt was the only one to not be playable despite having the most important role in that event quest from last year. And the other people who became playable were all white-skinned. Is that a common or acceptable practice nowadays? Omitting the one person from getting a reward because he or she looks too different from everyone else? I hope not, but I digress.
Oh, come on, human! We're supposed to be talking about gacha games! Stop being so serious and just look at the juicy kneecaps and the thighs on these sexualized little girls! Gacha games are amazing and I love them!
Are you kidding, real bro? The only reason to gamble for characters are for the crunchy elbows. Just thinking about the amazing one to twerk for a whole hour.
No! It's about the juicy kneecaps and the thighs! Everything else is inferior!
Blah, blah, blah. Crunchy elbows all the way, bro. I'll prove it to you by forcing you to watch me whip and nay. Oh yeah, I'm about to get turned up in here.
Please don't do that. Please. Hearing you two talk about body parts is completely creepy. And as much as it pains me to admit it, we barely talked about gacha games. Which means we'll have to continue this next time. Let's just hope there won't be any surprises. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Thorn and Your Side. And I'm your host, C. Thorn. Feel free to subscribe, follow, share, comment, tweet, post or whatever. And there'll be another Grovey episode next week. And remember, be smart and stay sharp.